Well, this is big money. You got draw, you got actions, but there's no buys and there's no gains. So the goal, I think, is play a haggler, buy a province, gain a gold, go from there. Deliver should be pretty good because you can play the haggler, put whatever you gained into your hand. So like you'd love to hit 10 here if possible. How to open Research and Sailor. I mix these cards up all the time. They look very similar. 4 cost orange card with a woman looking to the left wearing a hat. They both say +1 action, then a bunch of text that's too small to read. Surely you're opening with one of those. Which one's better? Probably Research. Research is +2 cards, which is better if you're killing estates. Sailor's gonna be better for killing copper. Sailor also potentially lets you play a Research if you get lucky. I'm coming around to thinking it's Sailor. Tracer says Sailor. There's potentially very high upsides, like Sailor with 4 money in hand. You could play a second Sailor. If you have 4 money in an estate, you could buy a Research. I'm gonna go Sailor Silver. Oh, Fishing Village immediately. Interesting. I think I really want to hit a big number with a Sailor in hand, and Silver makes that a little bit more likely. Like I have half a mind here actually just by Deliver Patrician. If I can draw like Sailor and 4 money, then buy Research and Estate, I can go in places there. This is, I will say, just about the best possible case you could have for Fishing Village is you find it turn 3 and still hit 5. Fishing Village is a silver. The upside is it's a village, which you might want later if you have actions in your deck. The downside is the duration cards. If you play it turn 4, A, you only get 1 money in your second shuffle, and 2, I've ruined my numbering. Roman numeral 3 is I'm just going to miss the shuffle next shuffle. Where was I? Okay. Didn't hit 4 without playing the Patrician. If I had 4 in my hand naturally, I'd probably turtle this and just buy the Research. What this should do. I'd rather kill the coppers, all things equal, using the Sailor. The argument for killing Estate here is I could deliver a Haggler, which sounds great. My bottom 4 are 2 copper, silver, Patrician. If I deliver Haggler, I'm hitting 7 next turn, which sounds lovely. I think that's a good enough reason to do this. So I'm in a slightly awkward spot with this Research. I think my preferred play is play Haggler, deliver, buy a 5, gain a 4. And in order to do that, I have to not play okay, well, this kind of makes it a moot point. I was going to say, on the likely assumption I drew a copper, I have to not play the Research to hit 7. This way I'm not hitting 7 either way. Although I think this answers my question for me, right? I played the Haggler, deliver, or, what about Sailor, Haggler, buy a 5, Sailor plays a Research, trashes 4, draws a huge number of cards. I'm definitely playing the Sailor, that's clear. So I could play the Research, I'd hit 5, I would buy a 5, probably Haggler, Sailor. I would have plenty of money next turn, maybe buy a province, but I wouldn't have the nice little Haggler deliver stuff going. Other option would be leave the Research in hand, play the Haggler, buy Haggler, gain Research, trash Research, draw 4 extra cards. That's probably better, and it's getting me to 8 next turn with a big hand and a Haggler in it. The downside is I can't play both Hagglers, so maybe I take a crown in that case. Didn't manage to draw the crown, which is a tad sad. Not a big deal. Do I hit 10 here? 10's a nice number for deliver province. Okay. Yeah, this is 10 even if I trash. So why not trash? I'm gonna go deliver, province. Bottom three cards are crown, copper, and something. Not sure what the something is. Probably I should be getting a haggler here. So do I crown the patrician, hoping to draw into the second haggler and then play both hagglers, or just play the patrician once and crown the haggler? Probably just crown the haggler as a safer bet. I want to hit 7. I need to keep a points lead, so I should at least buy a duchy here. I think the crown patrician line has more room to go catastrophically wrong. Drawing any of my durations is actually not great at the moment. I really want to do like deliver duchy, gain some ports or something. God dang it. Okay, so this is the line that would have worked out better had I crowned the patrician. Yeah, I have to buy deliver if I want to hit 8 next turn, right? Even with deliver, I'm not guaranteed to hit 8 next turn. It was just kind of a nasty draw there. Drawing that haggler off the top was pretty terrible. How do I salvage this? The problem is the bottom 7. I've got a silver down there. I've got a little bit of copper. I don't have a whole lot that's going to get me to 8. Let alone enough to deliver. Yeah, this is bad. This is not good. I could turtle the haggler and just take 4. 4 is a tiny, tiny number. Deliver a patrician. How do I get to 8? The option would be play the haggler, deliver double ports. Maybe that's better. I get a silver and maybe just another silver. I do not have much money down there. I really want to make sure I'm hitting 8. This is still an okay position, because if Tracer buys province, I'm by province. Tracer buys province, I'm by province. I've got that 1 extra point, which makes it hard for Tracer to do anything, so we can duchy dance for a bit. The trouble is, given that the tempo is now in his favor, he can always wait until I look like I have a dud turn, then buy the penultimate province and take a gamble on me missing. Whereas if I had 1 point lead and the tempo lead on being the first to buy the provinces, I could be the one to buy the penultimate province and then put him in a losing position. This is the type of big money kingdom where you're still kind of sort of building as you're going. And so I think a lot of it comes down to like figuring out the right turn to pull the trigger on hitting, what do you call it, 8. Because once you hit 8, you can often hit 8 pretty reliably. If your turn too slow, then you're going to lose. If you turn too fast, your deck falls apart. Is that last card a research? I don't think so. Maybe it is. Yeah, it is. Bottom card's a research. Okay. So I could turtle both of these, deliver province. Should probably play the sailor at least, because I'm going to need some money next turn. So I'd rather play Sailor, Turtle, Port, then I've got 2 money and an extra draw coming in, but a $0 card on top. Or I could play the Port, draw the research a silver for +3 cards. That's more likely to get me to a nice turn next turn. At the downside of I lose a silver and my research is out of play, I think that's still worth it. I'm going to do research first, and then I'll decide whether to turtle a haggler or the turtle a sailor or not based on what I set aside. A copper and a haggler. Yeah. With the power of hindsight, it didn't matter. I only had exactly 8 cards, so I deterministically should have known which cards I would have in hand next turn. But turtling the sailor means even if I don't draw a port here, I have enough actions to crown haggler, play haggler, and get a bunch of stuff. If I had triggered a shuffle here, I would probably be happy to discard Copper Province to Vault and draw a random card. But Vault does discard 2 cards first, then draw a card. I don't want to shuffle a Province and a Copper into the discard. If it were the reverse order, like draw a card, then discard 2, I would take that in a heartbeat. Yeah, I think I'm in a little bit of trouble here. Tracer's deck is a little bit more together. He took slightly longer to green, but now he's going to be in a position where he's consistently drawing his deck, gaining a bunch of extra stuff off of the hagglers, and his deck's not going to fall apart. My deck's a little bit more rickety. The theoretical upside of that was I got to Province slightly sooner. If I could have maintained Province per turn, I'd be in a winning position. But now I'm in a spot where he can at least force us into duchy dancing, where I'll buy this province, then he buys a duchy, then I have to buy a duchy, and then, flash forward 5 turns, my deck might be falling apart by that point, his deck might be functional by that point, and then he buys a penultimate province. Another threat that I think is also concerning is what happens if he has better deck control and piles out. Like he's buying a province per turn, but also gaining stuff off of haggler. If he keeps a deck that's able to play 3 or 4 haggler plays per turn, and I don't, there's a scenario where he just like buys a penultimate province, gains a bunch of stuff off of haggler, empties 3 piles, then I lose. So I think this is not an ideal position for me. I could hit 10 here. That'd be such a big deal. Deliver with 3 haggler plays and a province. I think get my deck working again. But I don't think I'm hitting 10. Right, I'm only looking at 1 money, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I guess if I draw a silver off the top, then I get to 10. Silver, please. Thank goodness. Okay. I think I still got a fighting chance here. 10's a big deal here because it's enough for deliver plus province. And with 3 hagglers in play, that's a lot of gains. So I've got villages down there, 2 ports. So probably want at least a vault. Crown, vault, port all look good. Which of those maximizes my chances of drawing my deck and playing a bunch of hagglers? I think there's no realistic reason to play around bottom decking both ports. The odds of that are very small. So I'm thinking just another crown and a vault. This is still a little dangerous though, because Tracer's drawing his deck, and he's got more hagglers and more crowns. And so the pileout threat remains. The good news is if he's buying duchy here, he can only gain the cheap stuff from here on out. So like the low crown and haggler piles aren't as much of a concern. Bad news is that's true for me too. Yeah, that's a lot of gains. Oh, does he have a pilot that I missed? Oh, the Emporiums. Clever. I didn't even think about that. Okay, that's just game then. Yeah, that's just game. He's got 5 Emporiums in hand. He's got 3 money coming in.